Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late August 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Gemini collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Shuffle it up here one time, see what we got for you this week, my guides. Talk to me about Gemini. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's go, let's do this, let's rock. What do we got for Gemini here, please? My guides, talk to me. Start this off nice and quick, and that card flew right out. What do we got? Okay, so this is an extremely interesting oracle card that we have right here up front. Notice the little puppeteer playing with all the puppets. This one doesn't come out often, I'll be honest with you here. So there's a lot of different, I don't want to say issues, but there's a lot of archetypes surrounding it. Before we fully dive into that though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this puppeteer. Kind of dressed up similar to the Fool, right? So we see this person pulling the strings, playing with the puppets. Now, this could be a very good thing, but it could also be a little bit of a warning about certain individuals whenever this card shows up. First off, there might be certain things that you were trying to get under control in this time, okay? Maybe it's something about yourself. Maybe it's something about your mindset. There could be a situation that you're trying to get under control when this card shows up, because it does have that vibe similar to the Emperor of like getting things right. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's, controlling something to reach a proper outcome. That's the main overarching theme with this card. But there's also other ones that we need to take a look at. Watch out in this time for any individuals that you might think could be pulling the strings from behind the scenes. This card can represent illusion, so you want to keep your eyes wide open in this time. Make sure that there's nobody like pulling strings or trying to control something in a rough type of way. It's always good to try to control yourself in a very positive way. It's not good when there's a manipulative energy around. So just beware of that when this card shows up. Obviously, it's not all bad. And it does have little ties to illusion, which makes a little bit of sense with the readings I've been having for Gemini in recent weeks. Not necessarily bad, but let's just put that over there. Let's get into tarot. As I always say, that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote for us. I'm going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff for you. So let's shuffle it up one time, see what we have for Gemini. And while we do, let's talk about the last couple of readings. Last week in particular, it was titled Sudden Action Incoming. And the main vibe I was picking up in last week's reading was something being still or not really moving and then picking up steam like suddenly. So for a lot of you, hopefully those are good positive changes, good things coming in. Like, because it did feel to me like somebody leaping to action or making a move like quickly, suddenly out of the blue. So hopefully those haven't been rough things you're dealing with. Let's see what we have for you this week though. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Let's get these 3 cards out here. Life is all about change, right? Let's get you 3. What do we got for Gemini, please? Thank you. Okay, all right. We're starting with a positive card, my friends. I don't want to get too over the moon just yet, but we have the 6 of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful energy to lead us off. Once again, that is another card of action, of movement. Let's get you 2 more. Thank you. World card. Interesting. Powerful. Very powerful energy here with the world. Let's get you 1 more. It could be a big focus on world events or things happening in the world today. And get you 1 more. All of these cards are movement based so far. Action based. Let's get 1 more for Gemini, please. Thank you. All right. Queen of Pentacles on the back end. So at first glance, we're looking okay so far, Gemini. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Before that, though, first look, first glance. Overall, when I look down at this spread, we have a couple of different archetypes that we need to take a look at. We have Wands, which is fire. We have Earth and Pentacles right here on the back end. So these could be different areas of life, different things you're working through and happening. We have the World, which is one of the most dense tarot cards in the whole entire text, in the whole entire deck. There's so much symbolism here, but let's work our way through one by one. It's looking positive so far, I'll say that. But in position number 1, we have the 6 of Wands, one of my favorite cards. Love it. Now, this card could be about forward momentum, forward movement. Sometimes it could be travel related and distance related as well. But when I see the Six of Wands, I think of total victory, wins, overcoming something. This is a triumphant type of energy. Notice this person, it looks like they're walking in a parade. They have laurels up here. So when I see this, it's a straight up victory. It's beautiful energy. It's a card that represents public recognition, gaining recognition and kudos for the good things you've done. So that could be something you're looking for, like, hey, I did this, where's my kudos for it? But in the reverse, because every card has challenges and positives, sometimes this card could represent a person that you're connected to that's a little bit egotistical. When this card shows up, you don't want to count a win before it's in your grasp, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. But this card can also warn about somebody that has an inflated self-image, or somebody that thinks they can do no wrong. Okay, so we're just going to put this right here, and the clarifier will really tell us the tale, because overall that's a very positive card. I don't want to inject a rough meaning into it. In the center, we have the World, loaded type of energy. So let's just go through a couple of the archetypes here with the World. Now, this is the last of the major arcana, whereas the Fool card is the first. This is the closeout. So naturally, the World could represent the end of a journey, the end of a cycle, the ending of something. Okay, doesn't always have to be bad because it is surrounded by positive cards here. But a lot of you could be going through different cycle closes. Different things could be closing out. Different situations could be ending. The World is extremely angelic energy. Sure, it's a completion-based type of vibe, but it is surrounded with the insignia of different archangels, powerful energies. So it is protective in that sense. When I see the World, I think of karma. I think of karmic archetypes. So whether it's people getting a karmic debt, reaping what they sow, could be a blessing sometimes as well. But it is that cycle-based, similar to the Wheel of Fortune in that sense. Now, personally, me, when I see the World, I also think of literal world events. Okay, so whether you're focused on things that are happening in the world today, whether it's the good things, whether it's the bad things, like you might be very frustrated with what's happening in the world today and how it's happening, because this is one of my cards of world events and the world we live in. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Queen of Pentacles, usually a very beautiful energy and card. For a portion of you, this could represent an earth sign you're connected to. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. The Queen of Pentacles could also represent mother figures. But to me, I always say this is a card that is similar to the Empress. She's like the Empress light. So when I see her, I think of fertility. I think of abundance. I think of overflowing abundance and blessings. So this could be very good because surrounding this world, this change, this metamorphosis and possible endings, we have abundance surrounding it, which could be telling us that good things could be coming in for a lot of Geminis. Now, the challenge with this Queen of Pentacles, sometimes it could be an energy that is a little too smothering. So for some of you, maybe you're feeling a little smothered by someone or something. Maybe you're feeling that somebody's being a little too stubborn. You see how it goes with tarot? There's so many different possible meanings. So just whatever your situation is. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Wands. And yes, my friends, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Six of Wands time. Why is it here? Could be very positive, hopefully. Beautiful. Yeah, for a lot of you, there could be so many different winds coming in. We have the Queen of Swords, which is one of the cards that could represent you, my friends. I love her showing up in an air sign reading. The Queen of Swords in the upright, if this isn't just like massive wins and victories coming your way in different areas of life, remember, once again, a lot of you might need to do some final action to really collect it, or make an effort, a concerted effort for something to really go your way. But if you do, it's there. Like if there's something you want, go for it. If there's something you want, make a move, and you will collect that big victory, that W, that win. It's beautiful energy. Now, the Queen of Swords, aside from a card that could possibly represent you, is very honest, shrewd, straightforward, no nonsense, no BS. So for some of you, I do say it could be a serious win of some sort, where this could be a goal that you take very seriously, or a person you take very seriously, or something that you are locked on. Okay, so to me, when I see her underneath the Six of Wands, this is something that a person is highly motivated about. They're very serious about this, and they're going to make it happen in one way or another. So for a lot of you, it could be something that you are very serious about achieving or coming out on top about. Like, that's a vibe I'm picking up. So interesting. It feels good so far, though. I'm going to keep pressing forward. I feel like we don't really need to overdo this. Simple message, feels good. Let's move in on the world. Really like the Queen of Swords in a Gemini reading, so that's good. Let's see what's up with that World card, though. Why is the World here? Yeah, because we have victories now. The World is the only one giving me a little bit of pause right now. So why is the World here? Okay, Lovers in the upright. Another card that represents you, my friends. Okay. All right, for a portion of you, there could be a lot of changes going on in your interpersonal relationships, not just lovers and romance. It could be friends and family. There could be a lot of different changes, people coming out of your life, people coming into your life. So just know, I've been feeling that in a couple other signs too, that like personal relationships and others that you're connected to, there could be a lot of changes happening in that realm. Now, the Lovers is one of your power cards, my friends. So once again, big cards that could represent you. Sure, you might be going through some sort of big karmic cycle here, okay? Now, if this was any other sign, I would be like, listen, yeah, watch out. You might be having some big endings in regards to your personal connections, but I don't necessarily feel that for a lot of you. You might just need to hear you're going through some sort of big karmic cycle. So Spirit could be telling you, if you're going through a good time, if you're going through a tough time, ride it out in a very neutral way, because this, I don't want to say this is a karmic warning, but karma is at play, and I want to see if it's going to play out with the Queen of Pentacles as well, whether it's going to be positive or if it's going to be challenging. But the karmic hands are happening. I do feel a lot of changes happening in your personal relationships in the coming days and weeks, that's for sure. Okay, but once again, these first two alignments are focusing on the Gemini collective in a very big way. Okay, maybe if you're cross-watching, you've had a fallout with a Gemini. That's absolutely possible. But let's see what's going on with that Queen of Cups. For some of you, you might need to learn a big karmic lesson. Okay, that's another thing, because when I see the Lovers, I also think of soul connections, people that entered our lives to teach us a lesson. That's part of it. So for some of you, like, you could be going through a karmic lesson, or you need to learn one. Let's see what's up with the Queen of Pentacles, though. I don't want to ramble on too much. But even though it does have that closeout type of energy, it doesn't necessarily feel too tough to me. And for a lot of you, once again, I'm going to go back to what I said in the very beginning. You could be very much affected with what's going on in the world today. The state of the world today could be affecting you in a very big way. So I don't know if you need to disconnect in some sort of way or take action, whatever you feel like you need to do. But what's going on that Queen of Pentacles? Interesting stuff. Where's that Queen of Pentacles here? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Eight of Cups underneath this Queen of Pentacles, huh? Yeah. So for a lot of you, this is interesting. I do feel like for a lot of you, you might be at a make or break point in life in general. For a lot of you, especially if you're going through like karmic cycles and stuff like that. Usually the Eight of Cups is a card of somebody moving towards or away from something. So our most optimistic energy, once again, we have more of this positive energy that could be moving towards you. However, I feel for a lot of you, there's a dualistic energy in this week's reading, especially with the Lovers here, then the big victory here, and then someone possibly leaving something behind. So for a portion of you, yeah, there might be a decision you're making, like, no, I'm going to go route A instead of B, even though they're both ideal. So there might be some tough decisions coming up in the coming days and weeks, tough planning that you need to do where both options seem ideal, or like both paths that you could walk seem ideal, and you might have to make a very tough choice in regards to that. When we see the Eight of Cups, usually I like this card. A lot of people give it a bad reputation, but notice what comes next after the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, a card of wish fulfillment. So I do feel you moving slowly towards something positive, but the karmic hands are at play, okay? And I do feel a lot of positivity here. I do still feel these victories here in the beginning, but there's kind of a little bit of loss as well. So it's very dualistic, where we have win, we have loss, we have beginning, we have ending. Like we have moving towards, we have moving away. So there's a lot of dualistic energy here. Let's go through and do a quick little recap, Gemini. Then you could you can look into them further if you'd like, but then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, we're starting off with very positive energies. We have the Six of Wands with the Queen of Swords in the upright. A lot of you could have a lot of various victories coming your way. You might have to make a little action towards it, though. Put a little effort in. Whatever you want, you can attain in this time. That's the main vibe I'm getting. There could be certain goals or certain things that you were extremely serious about really reaching or getting, and you can with this energy in the beginning. It's a very positive omen, and you should claim this energy in the front. Moving to the center, we have more of your energy showing up here. We have the World with the Lovers in the upright. So for some of you, yeah, your interpersonal relationships could be changing in a lot of ways. People could be coming in, people could be heading out. I did also say for a lot of you, yeah, this could be karmic. So whether you're learning a karmic lesson or you're going through some sort of karmic change or cycle, it is showing up here as well. And for another portion of you, I've got the energy of what's happening in the world today could be affecting you in a very big way. Moving on the back end, we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups in the upright. A lot of you could have a big choice, big decision where, like, yeah, good might be coming in, but you might have to choose between one or another, to go left, go right. And both seem ideal, both seem good, but you might have to choose one. Like, only take it if it hits, but I'm getting a lot of duality here. Okay, so only take what it's worth, to take what fits for you. But a lot of you could be at like a real big make or break point in the coming days and weeks. So just do with that what you will. Please take a screenshot. For some of you, it could be very easy. This could be like a disconnect with an earth sign. It could be a disconnect with a feminine figure or mother figure. See what I mean with tarot? But we're going to see what's in the shadows for you. Shuffle it up one time and see what's in the shadows. For Gemini, please, my guides. What do we got for my friends? And yes, I always like to pull this at the very end. I feel like it's a nice little cherry on top, just to see what's in the shadows, whether it's something within yourself, something you don't quite see just yet. What do we got in the shadows for Gemini? Could be good shadow work, possibly, especially with all the moving pieces we got going on. All right, so we have a positive shadow card, which is something I've been seeing for a lot of the readings this week, that even though we're delving into the shadows, we're still getting some positives here, because we have the Nine of Pentacles, usually very abundant, very sturdy, talks good about money. Now, this could warn us about materialism, okay? When the Nine of Pentacles shows up, yes, it's an independent card, so we could also go into things about people feeling like a lone wolf. I got to do it myself. There's a singularity to this Nine of Pentacles where there's somebody trying to be independent or is independent to a fault. But this could be a big warning about materialism when we look at the shadow side of this card. However, when I see the Nine of Pentacles, once again, very sturdy, very abundant for a lot of you, this could be a very good sign of things to come that you don't quite see just yet. So still positive energy. Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.